Hi, this is Phyllis. Welcome back to my channel. Today's project is going to be our protected pearls bracelet, and this is the bracelet that we're going to make in the video today. And if you like this project, if you like what you see today, stay tuned for my materials list and we will make this project together. Thank you. The materials for today's project are 4mm round beads. You can use a druck bead, a check bead, but it should be round. Try to avoid anything that is oblong or faceted, just smooth and round. And today I'm using my Crystal Passions 4mm iridescent Tahitian pearl. Along with those beads, I'm going to use some size 11 seed beads, and these are my Yuki, and the color is palladium plated. I'm also using a size 15-0 my Yuki, and they're also palladium plated. I'm going to be using less than 10 of these 15-0s in this project. With that, I'm going to use my stainless steel lobster claw, and the size of this one is 15 by 9mm. I'll use stainless steel jump rings, at least one, because I could decide to do an extender, but I don't think I'm going to use more than one. It's a 10mm twisted jump ring, and it's in stainless steel, as I said. I'm also using 2 wire guardians, and these are also stainless steel. I'm going to use my scissors, of course, and I'm going to use my pliers to make sure that the jump ring is completely closed. I'm using my bead board with my gray bead mat on top of it, and a size 11 beading needle. And today I'm using 6-pound fire line in the crystal color. Just to let you know, it's going to take about 3 yards to do this bracelet and 3 yards makes a 7-inch bracelet. So if you're not comfortable working with a 3-yard piece of thread, just cut it to the comfortable length that is good for you. And I'm going to take all of my materials out of their packages, and I'm going to cut my thread and thread my needle, and when I turn the camera back on, we are going to make a bracelet. Let's get started with our bracelet. Right now the only materials we need are the 4mm beads and the 11-0 seed beads. And I have taken the liberty of stringing on 1 of my pearls and 5 of the seed beads. The beading technique that we'll use in this project today is right angle weave. And I'm going to slide these beads down to about, I'm going to leave about a 10-inch tail. That's for me. The 10-inch tail is for me because I'm going to go back later and use that 10-inch tail to add my clasp. If you find that that length of tail is a little cumbersome, by all means, do what you have to do for your own comfort in making this project. I'm going to fight with it because I only want to use the 1 piece of thread. Now I have my 10-inch tail off over here on my left side. What I'm going to do is pass my needle back into this 4mm bead, and I may have to just move these other items, the other beads, out of the way because I don't want there to be blurriness while we're doing this. All right. One reason we are using so much thread is because it's going to be beneficial for you to do some reinforcement as you go, at least when you're doing the seed beads, the units that are on the outside surrounding the pearl. So let's review what our right angle weave unit looks like right now. Our unit is a top, which is 1 seed bead on the top, a left side, 3 seed beads on the left, a bottom, 1 seed bead on the bottom, and the right side, which is our pearl. I'm going to take now and just reinforce this unit, just because it's going to be surrounding the pearl. And you could always go back and do your reinforcements later, but I have to do this right now while I am recording. And I'm also using this long piece of thread. How about that? Then I'm going to pass my needle back into the pearl. Once here now, we're going to string on 5 more of our seed beads. And we're going to circle back through our pearl. And I'm only holding on to these. I'm not trying to hide anything from you. I'm holding on to these so that I can keep my formation. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pass my needle into this side that I just added, and I'm going to go into my top unit, my side unit, and my bottom unit. And while I am here now, we're going to add to this. Once you get to your bottom unit and you are facing the inside of the pearl, you're going to add a pearl. So I'm going to string on 1 pearl, 1 4mm, and I'm going to pick up, string on also 4 of my size 11/0 seed beads, and I'm going to circle back into that size 11 seed bead where I'm exiting, and pull my thread, and we have the beginning of a second unit, well, of my right angle weave. I'm going to pass back into this pearl. Okay, and when I pull my thread, that's going to tighten up a little. That should bring your unit together like this, and I'm going to go into the bottom unit again, the side unit, the top unit, I'm saying unit, the top side, and back again into my pearl side. Gotta get a little thread management here. Now, once here, I have to do my surrounding beads for the rest of the unit for this pearl. So right there, I'm going to string on 4 of my size 11 seed beads, and I'm going to pass my needle into, let's get this right, to the bottom side of the top pearl unit and go right into that one singular seed bead. So you should have 5 seed beads here showing, and when you pull your thread, that's going to surround that pearl just like that. And what we're going to do is go into the pearl and reinforce our side unit, our bottom unit, our bottom side, our left side, our top side right here, and then that completes the reinforcement. But now we have to get into position to add the next pearl. So we're going to pass our needle down into this pearl, and we're going to have some continuity with this. I just completed doing this side, but we want to continue here so that we can make sure that this side is anchored. So the side that I just finished reinforcing, I'm going to start again with that side. So I'm going back into this bottom side of this pearl here on the left and pull my thread, and once I get here, now I have to add 4 of my seed beads and my pearl. And once I add those items on, I'm going to pass back into that same size 11 seed bead where I'm exiting, and I'm pulling my thread, and I'm going to reinforce. Now I'm going to go into my left side, which are the 3 seed beads here, oh, so sorry, and my bottom side, which is my single seed bead here. And now that that side is reinforced, I'm going to get into position to surround my pearl with the other side. So I'm passing my needle back up into the pearl, and I'm going to come out of the seed bead on the right side, the top side seed bead on the right side. Pull my needle, and now I'm going to string on 4 of my seed beads. When I do that, I'm going to pass back up into the pearl, and back into the top side here, because now we're beginning our reinforcement of this side. Back into the right side of the pearl, which are the 3 seed beads on the right side, and then the bottom side, that singular seed bead right here on the bottom. Once here, do you recognize this? We're going to do that again. String on a pearl today. The round beads are the ones that are hard to find the hole, especially since my bead mat is kind of monochromatic with that pearl. All right, so I have my pearl now, and I'm going to string on 4 of my seed beads, and I'm going to circle back and pass my needle back into the bottom right side seed bead here to make a new pearl unit. Once here, I'm going to reinforce. Now, if I was not doing this on camera, I would be turning it around and around, but I can't do that because I'm trying to do a tutorial. I can't teach you how to do it if I'm always turning it around. Some people may be new and they need to see exactly what I'm doing, especially because this is right angle weave, and remember what right angle weave is a series of figure 8s. So I've passed back into my pearl, and I'm going to continue reinforcing this unit by going into the bottom right side seed bead. Now I'm going into the right side, which are the 3 seed beads, the top right side, which is that one, and back into this pearl. Now, once here, we're at it again. We're adding 4 size 11 seed beads, and this is going to make our left side unit. And I'm going to pass my needle now into the top left seed bead for the top side. I pull my thread down. This is what we have, but it's loose, of course. I can move it around. It's not going to stay secure. I'm going to reinforce that unit by passing my needle into the pearl, into the bottom left side, up the left side, remember, which are the 3 seed beads, into the top side, back into the pearl, and now into our bottom left side, where we will begin again by making a new pearl unit. Now, and how do we do that? We start off, because can you see where we are? Okay, can you see here where we are? We are on the bottom left side, which means that the next seed beads that go on are the ones, the next beads that go on are the seed beads that make up the left outside, which are 4 of my seed beads. And we're going to we're going to string on our pearl bead or round bead, whichever you are using, and we're going to circle back into this same bottom left side bead where our thread is currently exiting, and this creates our left side. And what do? We have to reinforce it. We start off by going into the left side, which are the 3, into the bottom side, the 1. Now our reinforcement after we go into the pearl is complete. Now we're going to surround the other side of our pearl by passing into the top right side single seed bead. And once we do that and do our thread management, we're going to string on 4 of our seed beads. Once we do the string on our 4 seed beads, we're going to enter into this pearl again, which completes the unit, but now we have to reinforce by going into the top right side seed bead, into the right side seed beads, which are the 3, into the bottom right side. Ooh, so sorry about that. Now we are in position to start again. Now that your thread is exiting towards the pearl, towards that hole, now where do we begin? We begin by adding a pearl and 4 of our seed beads. pass our needle back into the top right side, which completes the unit, but we have to reinforce. You can, like I said, you can always go ahead and complete the project and do the reinforcement later, but it's so much easier to take care of it now. You'll be so happy that you did that. And use your dexterity to make sure that there's no slack in your thread. You're going to see some thread, but you're not going to see as much if you pull as tightly as you can. So right now I need to reinforce by going into the bottom right side, into the right side, into the top side, and into the pearl. Once here, now I'm going to string on 4 seed beads, and I'm going to pass my needle into the top left side seed bead, pull my thread, which completes the unit. However, we have to reinforce by going into the pearl, into the bottom left side, into the left side, and do my thread management, of course, because I have a mess. All right, I'm so sorry. All right, I was here at doing my left side, and of course I still have thread. I need to do my thread management. Okay. All right. Wow, okay. We are here at the left side now. We're finished with the left side, and now I'm going into the top left side. And I'm coming down. Now the reinforcement is complete once I come into the pearl, right? And then reposition in my bottom left side. I believe that I have done enough units for you to be able to get the gist of it, or at least be able to rewind some so that you can see how to do it. It is a series of figure eights, which are our right angle weave units, and it's really simple once you get going. You're outside your pearl, you're outside, and then you could do this. If you have trouble, please go back, rewind so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. You'll be able to get this. Do this and continue repeating these, making these units until you get to a length of the bracelet that is going to be, I don't know, I think maybe my clasping is going to be like 3/4 of an inch. Yes, my clasping is going to be about 3/4 of an inch. So do yours until you get within 3/4 of an inch of the length that you actually need. I'm going to be doing 28 of my beads, and that's going to make the length that I need for my 7-inch bracelet. So when you complete that side, I'll be back and we will continue from there. As you can see, I have completed my 28 units. And I have my ruler here so that you can see that we measure approximately 6 1/4 inches, because the rest of my length is going to be comprised of my clasping. Now, if you thought that doing a single row of pearls like this was a little daunting or overwhelming, you could always make this dainty little bracelet just like that by adding a clasp, which I have done here. I have added a clasp and I made this single strand. But for those of you who are brave and want to go ahead the rest of the way and make the second part of the bracelet, then let's get that done. And this is the same bracelet with the 28 units, and the rest of the length is the clasping. And I used the same materials. I included a wire guardian and just a few simple seed beads to attach the wire guardians and to put on the clasping. So that's how I ended it off. So let's continue on. Once I completed my 28 units, I ended off my thread coming out of bottom left and side, the bottom left side. If it was turned this way, it is the bottom right side. But nevertheless, what we are going to do is get into position so that we could add our second row. I'm going to pass my needle into the pearl, and I'm going to continue going that way. And even it doesn't matter which way you're comfortable, you can go either way. It's still going to be the same. And I'm going to come out of my top right side, and I'm going to pass back into the right side, just the right side. At this point, in order for me to move ahead, we're going this way as ahead, I'm going to string on, because we're going to continue making these units, but the first thing we have to do is get our pearl in there. So right now we have a new unit, and let me turn it this way so you can see. Right now, my right side is the end of this full unit here on this bottom pearl, right? That's my right side is the complete full unit. But now the right side is going to become my left side, because I'm going to add a pearl to come over here. In order to make this unit, I have to add a seed bead, which now is going to become the bottom side, the bottom left. I need my pearl, which now is my is going to be the middle right here. And then now I need my top left. So that is one more seed bead. So what I've added onto my needle, what I've strung on here is one 11-0, one pearl, and another 11-0, and now I'm going to circle around so I can get this new unit started. Circle around by passing into my new left side. Remember, it was the right side, now it is my new left side, and this is what we have. This is what we have, just like this. This is going to begin our new unit. I'm going to advance by going into the left side, and I'm going the left bottom. Now I'm going into the pearl, and while here now I have to make a complete right side, so I'm going to have to add 5 seed beads. So I'm stringing on my 5 seed beads, and I'm going to pass my needle back into the pearl. And when I do that, I've got my new right side. I'm going to advance my needle into my new top right, . And I'm just going to pull that thread. This is just a matter of getting a formation. I really want that the whole orientation to be on the top. It's going to be the I can't even talk. I really want that whole orientation to be up on the top, and I need to pull my thread so that there is no slack, so that that bead can set up properly. There you are. The whole orientation now is horizontal. Now I want to go into the new right side, which is my 3, which are my 3, and now I want to go into my new bottom right. Okay, pull my thread. Now at this point I'm going to take an interruption break and add my clasping. I'm going to get into position by passing through the purl again, coming into this top left, passing into these 3, the left side, and you can go either way you want. You can pass into your bottom left or your bottom right, either one you want, but you just don't want to come across and do anything. You want to do this. Okay, once here, I'm going to, this is what I'm going to do so you can see it better, so I don't have to work upside down. My thread is exiting this bead here. The whole orientation is horizontal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to string on my three of my seed beads, and I'm still using size 11/0. I'm going to get my wire guardian. I'm going to pass my needle into the one hole and pull down the thread, and I'm going to pass the needle back into the second hole, making sure that my needle is resting in the groove of the guardian. And I'm going to get my lobster claw. I'm going to string it on, and make sure that it is in here, and I'm going to just take my fingers and squeeze this guardian so that the opening isn't so wide. Just squeeze it as much as you can. This is a stainless steel one, so you may have to, if you're going to use stainless steel, you may have to use a plier, but I don't think that was necessary here. Now, once I'm here and I've squeezed my opening a little tighter, I'm going to pass back into this top size 11/0 seed bead and pull my thread. I'm making a bail, so I just want to make sure that I have my beads the way I need them to be, and I'm hoping that I'm still all the way in frame. I'm going to now string on 2 seed beads of these are my 11s, and I'm going to pass my needle back into, into this bead here, the one that is opposite from where we started. Remember I started here in this seed bead? Well, we want to pass now into this seed bead facing from left to right. And when I pull my thread, This is our setup. This is what we have as part of the first part of our clasping. Our tiny little bail that we made here, and the seed bead unit that we use to attach the wire guardian and the lobster claw. From here, I have to make an entry into this seed bead where we started. But how am I going to make an entry into the seed bead where we started without showing thread? Well, this is where your size 15-0 seed bead comes in. And all right, now you just need one. Just one. And I'm sorry I didn't have that out. So I'm stringing on my one size 15-0 seed bead, and I'm passing my needle back into that size 11-0 seed bead where we began. I'm going to pull my thread. This is our bail. This is our completed bail. Now, what do we have to do? Well, this is a clasp. We have to reinforce. So I'm going to pass my needle back into all of these beads and the wire guardian again. So I'm going through all of these, those 3 seed beads and the wire guardian, through the clasp, through the lobster claw, back into the second hole of the wire guardian and the top seed bead on that side, and then the 2 seed beads over here on this side. And when we get here, we have our clasp and it's been reinforced, but I am going to do it one more time. Go through these 3, the 11, the 15-0, and the 11. These 3 seed beads, and well, I couldn't catch it that time, but I got through the 3 seed beads, the wire guardian, hole 1, through the lobster claw, into this side of the wire guardian and that top seed bead if I can catch it. Well, let's just get through the wire guardian. And checking just to make sure that all of our threads are resting in the groove, and this one almost didn't get in there. Okay, so all threads are resting in the groove of the wire guardian, back into the top seed bead, and these 2 on the right. Okay, now it's done, it's attached, and it's reinforced. Now I'm going to turn it back this way so that we can continue where we left off. Now, and by the way we just added that clasp is going to be the same way we use this big long tail thread to add the clasp on this side. Excuse me. Now, after coming out of these 2 seed beads on the side, I'm going to pass my needle into that one size 11-0 seed bead and into these 3 seed beads, which is now the left, and into this top left side. And pull our thread. Now, once here, with the thread exiting the middle here, remember when we did this one single side, what did we pick up first? We picked up a 4mm round bead, and we have to get into this side over here. So we have this one seed bead here that's going to be a part of this unit. We have these 3 seed beads here that are going to be a part of the unit, and we have our center pearl, our pearl here, but we need one more bead. We're going to need our top left bead. So right now I'm stringing on a pearl, a 4mm, and a size 11/0, and I'm going to pass my needle into the side, this left side. When I pull my thread, there we have it. We are set up on the left side, and I'm going to pass into that top left seed bead and into the pearl. And when I get here now, I have to do my surrounding seed beads, which now I'm going to do this side, and I already have 1 seed bead here, which is my bottom right, so I need 4 more seed beads. And when I string those on, I'm going to pass my needle into this bottom right seed bead, and here we have our unit. Because we're on the outside, we want to make our formation, do our reinforcing by going into that top right, now to the right side, now into the bottom right, and into our pearl. And we'll start over here on this side for some continuity. Remember this? And then now we're going to string on our seed beads. We need 4 of them, 4 seed beads, and we need a 4mm. And once we get those on, we're going to circle back, pass our needle into that top right seed bead, and we're going to pass through and reinforce it. And that's our reinforcing, and then we're going to come up this way into the pearl, and we're going to pass our needle into the bottom left, into the left side. And what do we need? We need a top left, so we have to string on a size 11 seed bead, pass our needle into the pearl, and we're going to go back down this way and into the side and back into that 1 seed bead that we just added. And once we're here now, here we go again, we're going to string on a 4mm and an 11/0. Once we've done that, we're going to pass our needle into the side, the left side. We're going to go back into the bottom left side, into the 4mm. And once here now, we're going to string on 4 seed beads and pass our needle into the bottom right seed bead. Pull our thread and reinforce this side, top right, right side, bottom right, and into our pearl. Excuse me. And now we reposition so that we can start again, and we string on our 4 seed beads and our 4mm. Okay, pass our needle back into our seed bead here where we started, and reinforce. Make sure you got no slack. I need to do that again. Actually, it's good. It's reinforced. So now, once I'm here, I'm going to pass my needle into the bottom left seed bead, the left side, and I need to complete the unit by adding a top left. So I string on a size 11 seed bead and pass my needle into the pearl this way. You got it? You think you can handle this? I know you can. Once here, so that's reinforced. Now once we're here, what do we need to do? We need to string on a pearl and a seed bead. Pass our needle into the left side, make sure you tighten your thread, and into that bottom left seed bead, and now into the pearl. Once here, we need 4 of our size 11s. It's all size 11s until we get to our clasp. So I have my 4 seed beads, and I'm going to pass my needle into this bottom right, and I'm going to reinforce. So now I've got my top right here, my right side, my bottom right, and into the pearl. And because we're doing this side, we're going to start right here again, and I'm going to string on my 4 seed beads and my 4mm, and I'm going to pass my needle back into this seed bead, that top right. I'm going to reinforce this unit, right side, top right, back into the pearl, and now my bottom left. We're going to add the seed beads that we need for this side by entering into my left side, the 3 seed beads here, 3 on my left, okay, and I need 1 11-0 back into the pearl, into the bottom left, the left side, into my top left, and from here we just start all over again. We're going to pick up a pearl or a 4mm, whatever you're using, your round bead, and a size 11 seed bead, and we're going to enter into our left side. 3 seed beads here on the left side. All right. And I'm going to let you I'm going to leave you to do this on your own until you get to the end. Just keep making these figure 8s with right angle weave until you have all of your pearls or 4mm beads added and their protective seed beads around the outside. And I will meet you at the end when I am done. I know you can do this. I showed you a lot of times. If you have to rewind, that's why the tutorial is here. Just going to reinforce this, and when I'm done reinforcing this, I'm going to turn the camera off, and I will see you when I have finished this whole row here. Okay, and of course, now that I finished this right side, I'm going to just have some continuity and continue making my units on that side. All right, I will see you at the end. I'm here with 1 unit left to go, and my thread is really short, but I am going to make this happen. I'm going to string on my pearl and my 4 seed beads, circle around, pass back through, and I'm going to reinforce it, and I believe I'm going to be able to make this happen. So reinforce, come through here, this bead into the pearl, and I need 1 more seed bead, and I'm going to pass into the side here, into this bead here, well, why do I have an extra bead? I don't know. I probably picked it up before I paid attention. Alright, you're backing out. I have an extra bead because there's something wrong with me. I picked up 2 instead of 1. Alright, so take that one off. And do my thread management and get my long tail out of the way. All right, now I'm coming into the 3. And that's better, into this one here. And back into the pearl, back into this one, into the side 3, and I'm going to finish this off with a knot. I'm going to be able to do it. I'm going to pull up my loop and pass my needle through that loop twice. Would you look at that? Tighten down, and we are all tied up, and I'm going to continue advancing this needle into this bead to this pearl. Just going to circle around there and surround that. Well, I'm just going to continue doing that, but as you can see, I pulled my thread off my needle, but I'm going to continue doing that, and then I'm going to trim that thread, and I'll be back and we will put the clasp on together. I've threaded my needle onto my tail now and trimmed off the other thread. And so now the only thing that's left to do is add our second part of our clasping. My needle is exiting the 4mm here in the center. And what we need to do is get into position to add our clasping. So what I need to do right now, because of where I'm exiting, is I need to secure this spot. I'm going to pass my needle under the thread here. I'm not going through any beads, under any beads. I'm just passing my needle under that thread, and I'm just going to pull up a loop here and make myself a half hitch knot, making sure to secure my knot on this side, this side of the bead. And when I pull my thread, get a little, pull my tension right there. And the purpose of that is I need to go back into, I need to be into position to get this clasping done, and I want to be able to go back down into this pearl. I'm not going to pull too tightly on it right now. I just want to get in there because I need to be coming out of my center. I'm going to pass my needle up here, and I'm coming out of the center where I need to be right now, and I'm going to pass my needle into the top seed bead right there. I'm going to string on 3 of my seed beads, my wire guardian, and I'm going to pass my needle around to the second hole of the wire guardian and get my jump ring in there. And once my jump ring drops into my horseshoe, I'm going to just get this wire guardian and just pinch it as tightly as I can and pull down on my thread, making sure that the thread is still inside the wire guardian, and also that jump ring can't fall out. I'm going to pass my needle into the top seed bead. I'm going to string on 2 seed beads. These are my 11/0s. Stringing on those 2 11/0s, and I'm going to pass my needle back into this seed bead here, going from the outside to the inside or from my left to my right, and pull down. I'm going to now string on a size 15/0, and I'm going to pass my needle now into that first size 11/0 seed bead where we started making our clasping. Just that one today. Okay, and here we have our completed clasp. The only thing that's missing is its strength, which means I need to go back through and reinforce, and I'm going to reinforce this twice, and I'm going to do a little weaving and trim off my threads. And once I do that, I will turn the camera on so that you can see my finished work. So I'll see you in a minute. So here I have completed my project, my protected pearls bracelet, done in the right angle weave bead weaving technique. Now this one was completed with my Crystal Passions 4mm round beads and Manicure seed beads. I completed this one with these are Druck beads, and these are Crystal Passions beads and Toho seed beads. The only thing that's different is the Manicure seed beads are more snug to the 4mm rounds than the Toho, but they are both nice. And remember that if you do not want to make the double strand, you can always make a single. You can also make a triple strand and a quadruple strand. It's just as wide as you want. This is your project, and I hope that you take the time to make this project. And I wanted to let you know that my Protected Pearls bracelet was made to kind of match up with my raw diamond earrings. So if you're interested, I will leave the link to this project in the description box. And I'd like to thank you for hanging out with me, for bringing your patience and your creativity and all those other things with you. And we've got some 1,400 subscribers, so we're going to have to do a gift for reaching the milestone of the 1,500 subscribers. So tell your friends about me, okay? Thank you for hanging out. Have a great day. Bye-bye.